Studio 33 AD, Catholic Media.
Welcome to Studio 33 AD, Catholic Media. And who's in studio with us this time? Well, we found this person who was kind of hanging out in front of the cathedral, and we weren't really sure what he was doing there. Turns out he is the coordinator for one of our ministries here at St. John's Cathedral, our Docent Ministry. So I want to introduce you to Tim Sullivan, and well, very grateful you took the time to be with us here today.
Thank you very much, John.
So, Tim, can you tell us a little bit about this specific ministry, like how it began, what's involved exactly in this ministry, who it reaches?
So the Docent Ministry was started a number of years back by a gentleman by the name of Mike Curdy, and the idea behind the ministry was we've got this beautiful, wonderful cathedral. It's such a architectural focal point here in our community. It attracts a lot of people, and the idea was to share our ministry a little bit through the cathedral by giving tours and answering questions.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what got it started. I became interested in the ministry and joined, and what I've enjoyed about it so much is just meeting people and having an opportunity to share a little bit about the beautiful cathedral that we have, answer questions, and just kind of expose people to our faith.
That's right. Well, our cathedral is a great testimony to our Catholic faith, especially one of our newest additions, the new stairs. After, was it 3 or 4 iterations of concrete, the decision was made to use, well, in this case, I guess it's Montana sandstone.
Correct.
Which is thicker, and the hope is it's going to endure more than about a generation. So this new step is one great example of the testimony with those 3 new panels in the front.
Correct.
Now, is that part of the tour as well, if weather permits, or?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is part of the
what does
tour.
a tour entail?
The tour is pretty flexible. It can be formal in terms of something that is pre-planned and with an allocated amount of time. We have some tours like that for students, as well as visiting schools from around the diocese or around the area, or it can just be spontaneous. Most people attending tours, which are held every Sunday from 3 to 4:30, are just dropping by. So we kind of go with the flow, so to speak. But the tour can begin with the exterior. The cathedral itself is constructed with sandstone from our table rock, and the new steps are utilizing a Montana-based sandstone, as well as the capstones are from table rock. And the artwork on the front are 3 gospel passages that are specific only to St. John the Evangelist. And so it is a great presentation, and what leads people into the cathedral itself.
Now, you told me that one of the things that really strikes many of our visitors who haven't been to the cathedral for the first time are the stained glass windows.
Correct.
With that, can you tell us a little bit about this particular window that sometimes even many of our regular parishioners don't see, because, well, at least when they walk in, it's behind them. What we have here up in the choir loft.
This is a picture of Saint Cecilia, and Saint Cecilia is the patroness of musicians. And this window is on the east-facing wall of the choir loft. And when people come into the cathedral, they really don't notice it coming in. And if they sit far enough to the front as they're exiting, they do notice it. And usually it's beaming in the mornings with the sun.
Yeah.
But it's a fun window to visit with people about, both in just its character and how it's designed, And then there are angels around St. Cecilia playing musical instruments. And so it's a wonderful picture and conversation piece.
Okay, so the tour would explain something about the stained glass windows, also the interior
Correct.
As well.
Correct. The cathedral is filled with just an enormous amount of symbolism, and our faith itself is got so much tradition that it's just kind of overwhelming to a lot of people, and they walk into the cathedral and they just look around and they're just taken back. And so it's a fun ministry. It gives us an opportunity to visit with people and very enjoyable.
Okay, and for you, Tim, what do you derive from this? Why do you volunteer your time? The sessions you said are Sunday afternoons, sometimes even if somebody would call ahead of time to arrange a school tour. So what is it that a volunteer might take away from this ministry?
I think the biggest thing is just sharing the beauty of our cathedral with people who are visiting or and a little bit just to visit about our faith and what it is we believe. It's just it's been very, very enjoyable to me. There are times that on weekday tour, or excuse me, on tour days that we have no visitors. In those instances, it gives you an opportunity to just have an hour and a half of peaceful prayer in the cathedral.
That's true. So our cathedral, inside and out, here's an image of the nativity scene. One thing that always struck me, right, somebody had pointed out to me, it's not likely that in Bethlehem they had this stone use. So the artists who developed this try to customize it for the cathedral.
Yes.
All right. So there's so many stories, and we won't even begin to elaborate on any of these because this is supposed to be a teaser. We want people to actually come and enjoy the cathedral. So once again, it's Sunday afternoons,
3 to 4:30.
3 to 4:30, and then potentially, if there's a school group or something like that, if they phone in ahead of time,
Correct.
we might be able to get a docent
Correct.
to join them.
I might add, though, at the moment there are no tours due to the construction that's being wrapped up in the cathedral, and so we will have an announcement, or the sign will be out when tours begin again.
And it's customary here at St. John's Cathedral, we give no completion date. We learned, well, even the cathedral, they started it in 1906.
Correct.
But it's the upstairs was no till 1921. So things take time.
That's
here
true.
at St. John's Cathedral. We learned our lesson with the steps. Okay, and but soon we hope, yes, that
Yes.
the sanctuary restoration will be completed, and we'll be able to resume regular tours.
Correct.
Yep. Well, thanks, Tim, for coming in. And how can people get in touch with you? Because after this presentation, I mean, folks are going to be wanting to know, how can I get involved? I want to be part of Tim Sullivan's group here. How do we get in touch with you?
My email is timsullivanboise@gmail.com.
Good. All one word, timsullivanboise@gmail.com. Thank you all for joining us here in Studio 33 AD, and thanks especially to Tim Sullivan and the service you provide us here at St. John's Cathedral. Thanks, Tim.
John.
Studio 33 AD, Catholic Media.